all seek it.
Must be destroyed.
If you do not find a way, no one will.
And now you can own it. When The Lord of the Rings comes home on VHS and DVD.
Hi, welcome back to Now Your Mother's Hobbies. Today we are continuing our fellowship run. Just a couple more hobbits left. We've got the ever stalwart Samwise Gamgee ready to go. We're going to paint him up and get him ready to protect his dear Frodo. Dear Master Frodo. I do love this sculpt. I love that they got his frying pan out. He's dual-wielding frying pan and sword. I love it. Really cool nod and touch to the films and our lovable little guy. Let's get to it. Starting things off, we're going to do his coat, his undercoat. He's got some cloaks and other clothes on, but we're going to do his cloak here. I'm using Space Wolves Gray to give us a little bit of like a denim kind of look, a kind of pale blue that we're going to do on here. Now, I found it to becoming a little pale, too pale for my liking, and I ended up doing, I think, 2 coats, just lightly, to get it a little richer and deeper. If you like that paler coat, you go right ahead. I followed up with Agrex Earthshade. I did this one again, 2 coats on the backpack that he's got and the straps that secure it. Just going around there and giving us a sort of drab kind of look for his backpack, a paler brown look. So just go all around on there. You don't have to be too clean as you go, but just get those little crannies. And look at that, my brush is dying. Maybe that's the brush gods telling me I need to take better care of my stuff, upgrade or clean or both. I don't know. But I paint the rest of this model with a twisted brush. Here we're going to do his cloak. He's got Basilicanum Gray for this cloak. He's got a gray cloak, and we're just going to go over top. Don't worry about any of the metal stuff. If you want to do the cast iron in Basilicanum Gray, you can. I chose to do it black, and you'll see that later. But do his cloak and his weapon, and then again, like I was saying, I'm doing Black Templar here for all of his cast irons. That's his trusty frying pan here, as well as some of the items on his backpack. So whatever that little thing at the bottom, I think it's a little lockbox, and then we've got this little pot up here, and he's got some ladles and stuff as well. I'm using this for his pants too. That's going to give him some other breakup, some other contrast breakup in his look. Now I know that we got a little blurry here, but be patient; it'll come back. I'm using snakebite leather for this sling bag that he's got hung around his hip. So it's got a big strap that comes across his chest and then comes to a pouch on his side. He's also got a little pouch hanging off of his backpack that I also chose to do in that little snakebite leather brown color, just to differentiate some of the different things on that bag. Like these sausages, which I'm doing for Grunta Fur, to give us a nice kind of fleshy brown, which is going to kind of be suitable for the sausages. We have Neln oil, just straight Neln oil here. We're using that to get his little gray shirt in. And Pilar Glacier, you can use whatever color you want for his bedroll. I just wanted a little bit of a pop of color that also kind of matched with the tones that we have going on. So I used that 2 coats on there for his bedroll. But yeah, you can use any color you want. Then we're doing pale flesh here. So we have Gulliman flesh as our base coat going all around. Don't forget his feet. He is barefooted. So just going around and giving him that pale flesh base coat.
Man, you want to take this show and just roll it up in a gigantic paper.
Lastly, his hair. He's got some blonde hair, so we're using Skeleton Horde here to block that in. Don't forget about his feet. He's got little hairy blonde feet as well. Now for our layering, we're going to make those sausages shine, starting off with these guys. We're using Deathclaw Brown just to brighten them up and give him a more succulent, orgy look. They're looking like hot dog wings. Then we're going to dry brush some Administratum Gray here. We're going to put that all over his cloak, binding some of the other areas, because we don't want to get this gray all over the place, but we are going to get it on his pants just a little bit to pick out some of the folds. And of course, go in with our brush to pick up any little details or areas that are too close to other details that we didn't want the dry brush to get into. We're using Fenrisian Gray here to brighten up the jacket and continue that kind of denim-y look, just going in and smoothing out any splotches that the contrast paint leaves in, or getting any brighter areas that want to, well, be brighter. Gunmetal here for his metallics. He doesn't really have any metallics on here because I made everything cast iron, so we just got this sword. And then for the cast iron stuff, I'm just putting a little light, almost like a dry brush, but we're just being really rough with it and adding more like texture to areas, especially edges, like the frying pan here you can see. So you don't have to be too neat with that. Then when those are done, we're going to add Nuln Oil Gloss to make everything metallic. We're even going to add that to our cast iron areas. Now for skin highlights, it's business as usual. So he's got pale flesh. We're starting with 80 flesh tone, smoothing out our surfaces and cleaning up its details and brightening up that skin. Get all those raised areas, maybe 75% of the way there. And then his left flesh, this is going to be about a 40, 50, maybe less. And just getting all those raised areas and get them all shined up, brightened up. As always, we could end there, but we're going to go a little bit further, and starting with our skin, or rather continuing with our skin, we're going to use Pallid Witch Flesh here just to add some really shiny, bright pink highlights on the corners and most raised areas of his skin, so his cheekbones, etc., as well as maybe some temples and toes and stuff like that. We're using Wraithbone here to add some interest in his hair. I like to do that L'Oreal sheen, so especially on his head, we're going to do that. But don't forget his feet, as that is hair as well. So just a couple little dots here and there. Bold titanium white to continue with that L'Oreal sheen, going all around. Don't forget about the feet. I also used this while I had it out to do the buttons on his shirt, just to make those stand out a little bit more as well. And to tone that down, if you didn't like how bright it got, you could just use a 50-50 mix of skeleton cord and water, just to give a little bit of a glaze. I liked what was on his head, but I did tone down his feet. I have brassiere here. You can use any kind of cool gray to highlight up his shirt, as well as if you did like me and used a kind of pale blue, you can do that bedroll as well. Here we have chrome. We're going to use this to highlight all of our true metallics, just going around. Not a lot to do, so just that sword edge. I just did the top, some little pings here and there. And then, if you really want to, get a brush and add some little scratches and wear and tear. Not too much, but some points of interest here and there on the cast iron. Then, of course, we base it as usual with some contrast gray, a dry brush on the base, dry brush of white or pale gray, and followed by a nice black clean rim. And there you have it. We have Samwise Gamgee, our best little boy, all painted up, liking how he turned out. I really like, I think my favorite part is the frying pan. It's a pretty unique piece of the sculpt, and I think I don't know, I think it looks unique. So I really like that. I like everything about how this one turned out. As much as I like the other ones for their color, how bright and vibrant they are, I feel like this one really looks not only how I had it in my head and how I see it maybe in the films, but as well, I think it looks a lot like Sean Astin. I think it looks a lot like Samwise. They did a really good job on this sculpt, not only in the likeness, but the unique little touches. I think there's a lot of heart going into this one, and I hope I did justice. You let me know in the comments down below if you agree with any of the points I made, or if you think I did it justice or not. Let me know where I could have gone differently. Let me know what you're painting and where you are in your painting journey. I want to know what's going on. Thanks to everybody who likes and supports and subscribes, etc. Everybody who's talking and making conversations. Thanks as always to the patrons. You guys' support always welcome, always thankful, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye!